Hey guys, just wanted to do a message for everyone here on Facebook, and I wanted to do something in regards to more on a spiritual term here. Most of you guys have already started your goals, and I've been seeing a lot of people post about what they're going to do this year. But I know there's a few of you right now that have already started feeling some winds pushing against you, and some waves pushing against you. And some of you guys have actually considered even giving up on what you just said you were going to do. And so I want to tell you this is that the winds are going to show up, but there's a reason for them. So instead of really being taken back by the winds, you just need to embrace the winds. There's something to that. And I'm going to tell you this is that I'll just kind of set the tone for this whole thing that I want to tell you today is that we are a first watch people worshiping a fourth watch God. Okay, I'll say it again. And you're going to say, what is he talking about? But I want to tell you this because some of you guys have been praying really hard. This year is going to be different. This is going to be different. But we are a first watch people, and we are worshiping a fourth watch God. Let me tell you what this means. So there's a time in the Bible where Jesus feeds the multitude, and he commands the disciples to go off in a boat. They go off in a boat, and what happens is in Mark's account, it talks about how there are like almost 75 football fields out in the Sea of Galilee. It's pretty far, and they're just toiling away. And these winds start showing up, and it's just they're going through a catastrophic event in the waves. And I want to tell you when Jesus showed up, because this is kind of important. Why did the Lord show up at a certain time? Why would the disciples find it important for us to know when he showed up? Because that is what they call a reference point to how we should expect a loving God to come in. There's a special reason for it. So anyway, so it says here, and this is Matthew chapter 14, verse 22. It says, "And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitude away. When he had sent the multitude away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray, and when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the winds were contrary." How many of you guys have already felt the winds the winds are being contrary to you? It's okay. So check this out, though. We're praying, though, when this is happening. We're going like, did I make the right goal? Did I make the right? Are my ambitions okay? Everything's fine. Because look, in the fourth watch, the night, Jesus went into them, and this is on Roman time. Roman time. The first watch was between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Second watch was 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Third watch, 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. And then the fourth watch is 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Here's the problem. We are praying, and we want our answer from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. We're first watch people. The problem is that God doesn't show up in the first, nor the second, nor the third. The problem when it starts going to the third is we start making some very scary assumptions. Number one is that he's not there. And this is all inspired by S. Michael Wilcox, a talk that he gave called "When Prayers Seem Unanswered," if you want to check that out. But the third one is where we start kind of asking, is he there? Does he really exist? Or even scarier, I am unworthy for him to come to me. There's something I'm doing, and that can cause some serious issues. And I'm here to tell you that, what's interesting is if you look in Mark's account, it said in verse 48 on Mark chapter 6 says, and he saw them toiling in rowing. So he saw them. Very key. He wasn't like aloof. From far away, he could see them toiling. And in your situation right now, he may be watching you toil, but there's a reason for it. He's not someone who's like a masochist or someone who likes to see you suffer. But what's happening when you're toiling is your muscles are stretching and breaking. You're actually growing in there. And then you're having, and the key thing is to have faith that he's going to come. I just have to keep rowing. And I'm telling you right now, you have to keep rowing. That we need to stop asking for him to change his ways of what watch he arrives in. And that he has a special purpose. And so I want to share with you this. A second story that I heard from one of my mentors is that he was asked once to, his name is Michael. He was once asked to write a paper on something in regards to someone that inspired him in his life. This is to prove to you the fourth watch God, that he was supposed to write a paper in regards to someone that inspired him. And guess what he chose was his mother. Why did he choose his mother? Because his father wasn't there. Okay, so most of you guys, if one of your parents isn't there, you'd probably be a little bit biased on going to that parent. The problem is that the Spirit told him and said, write about your father. And he's like, I can't write about my father. I just can't, And what happened is that what's really interesting is that let's rewind back a little bit. When he was younger, he was asked to kind of forgive his father about certain things. And he struggled with it when he was a kid. And he went on his knees and he was just like, God, give me the audacity, give me the strength to forgive my father for him not being there. But guess who stayed silent? The guy upstairs stayed silent. He's like, there's no answer. I've got no answer. And then he thought, later on when he was teens, still no answer. So this is years passing by and he still felt like God's not there. He never gave me the courage to forgive him yet. I don't know what's going on. Until now we're talking about that moment where he was asked to write about this report. And then the Spirit could talk about your father. Now what happened was he was an adult at this time and he had 4 children. And there was a moment where he went into and started playing with his kids. And it was like this everything kind of went in slow motion. He started noticing that he's seeing the beauty of having 4 kids and he's enjoying them. And he's like, it's just something happened where it's like his mind completely focused on the beauty of him and his 4 children. And it was at that time where he started crying and breaking down, and his wife was concerned about him, saying, hey, what's going on? Because I think he went to the restroom to go cry a little bit. And his wife was concerned about him. And he says, no, he's like, I finally really appreciate being the father of all these men, these young boys. And then he could finally write that report. He can finally forgive his father. So the second thing I want to tell you, besides us changing our mindset from like, I'm a first watch person, I'm like, I expect things right away, but we don't understand that an eternal creator that has the highest intelligence of us all knows why he's waiting for the 4th watch. So if you notice, he could have gotten the answer when he was a kid, but he wouldn't appreciate it. So the question to our God in heaven when things aren't going for us is like, why aren't you giving us the answer now? And if we could hear his voice, we would probably say something like this, like, if I gave it to you now, you wouldn't appreciate it as much. And that's why I'm waiting. And what it's called placing a pocket in your heart. So so if he gave you the answer, it would slide over the heart. If he gave you the answer when experience shows up, when he had his children and he appreciated being a father, now the pocket was slit, and then the answer can go inside the heart. And so some of you guys right now, your heart is slowly being cut with experience, and it's necessary for the answer to make sense to you. Because see, when he had no children, he couldn't forgive his father. When he just became married, he couldn't forgive his father. It's when he had children that he finally felt like, oh, this is your answer. It's like, I needed to have children and then now say, wow, my father really missed out on what I have now. He'll never know what it feels like to treasure young boys like this. And I feel bad for him now. And I can forgive him for what he's done, And so that was a answer that needed experience. So there's a pocket and so right now I just want to let you guys know there's 2 things. Is just change that mindset. Let's not be first watch people. Let's think about how a God works, and he is a 4th watch God. There's a reason why he lets us toil, for us to stretch our muscles, to have faith that something is coming, and that through that waiting and through that toiling, we become stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's what, and you weren't here just to have everything easy coming down to you, because there's no growth in that, you see. And then the second one is, again, just like there's a pocket being made, be patient with the pocket being made. And so hopefully this helps out someone out there, that if things aren't kind of turning out already in January, you've already bit the dust a couple of times, or 2017 was the worst year ever, you were building some pockets in your heart, and there are some answers showing up in 2018 for you. So hopefully, please tag someone, please share this with someone, let them know about this video if they need to hear this message, because I know you're probably already having coffee moments with your friends, either complaining about what happened in 2017 or how you're wondering if 2018 is going to be better. It is all going to be better. You just have to understand the type of situation we're in, what type of creator we're working with, and then what type of why we need experience to actually receive the best answer. So with that, this is Emmanuel, and again, just feel free to tag, share this with anyone, and like I said, this could be a powerful message for one of your friends or family. I just felt inspired to share this, and hopefully this gets out there and it reaches someone's heart and it makes sense to them, and then they can have more peace during their journey. So with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Take care. Bye-bye.